Hi, I'm Wendell G. Welcome to the first week of the Worldtopia Baseball League 2043 season. Well, the theme for this week is Cuts You Up by Peter Murphy. I realized a few minutes ago I was looking at this data and my finger was tapping and I thought, what am I tapping to? And that was the song Cuts You Up. Oh, man. All right, Yankee Doodle Bork, this is how you tank. Moscow Mules start the first week 1-5. We're already 4 games. No surprise, Amsterdam's at the top of the pack. I think the only person who would be surprised by this is OU. His team is so loaded that he could cut half of it and still be at the top. Let's see. The only real surprise, I think, in the North League this week, I am not at all surprised that Seoul is right up there, and I am actually looking for Seoul to be right in it for the long run, right down to the wire, and Helsingborg too. I thought we would be right in the mix. If you look at the league predictions, they're kind of all jacked up, but they do say that everybody's going to be, in the North League, is going to be above 500 except, I think, Berlin, possibly Dublin. So the North League sets up as a very competitive league this year, and I don't know whether to hold hold my ground or go into immediate panic mode, Yankee mode, go into immediate Yankee mode. I think I'm just going to hold my ground for now. Over in the south, Buenos Aires and Cairo looking strong right out of the gate with Kabul right there. Baton Rouge has a struggling start, which is no surprise. So there's the overview. Let's see. Expanded standings. Not a whole lot of tic-tac against Pythag at the moment, but this will give you a sense that some teams are above and some are below. Down in the South League, man, this is going to be a dogfight from start to finish. I do believe False Bay got out to a really surprising slow start. I think these top 6 teams, well, Buffalo I think is going to be there. I don't know about Baton Rouge, kind of a wild card, but they were dealt a tough hand. We could have 7 teams in the South and maybe 6 teams in the North, right there, hammering away at each other throughout the season. All right. In the North League, I guess particularly, Juan Padilla showing me how good he is. He had 440 with 5 home runs and 10 RBIs and 7 runs scored this week. That is especially poignant because our biggest problem right now, our biggest problem is offense and defense, runs scored and being scored against. But of those two, our biggest problem is scoring runs. We are ranked 7th in the North League in runs scored. Also in batting average, 6th in home runs. And we've only stolen 1 base. The loss of Juan Padilla right there. That kind of goes towards OU's strategy and theory that you want 15 outstanding players and you really don't give a rat's ass about anybody else. Do whatever you got to get those 15 outstanding players. Padilla was one of my handful, and I thought that by replacing him with a handful of good players that I would get value. Hasn't played out to this point. So my lineup, Gooksta asked me a question about it, so I made a quick change. He's right. I was starting Jaime Robles at leadoff, and Jaime has been on fire. He's been my only batter on fire, hitting 440 with a home run and 3 ribby. Dominique Nique Garnett, 2 home runs, 6 ribby, but only hitting the long ball apparently. Duarte's got 3 ribby already for us, and Lieutenant Dan hitting 300 with a strong on base percentage. But I was hitting Robles leadoff. And I did that based on my right-left splits and stats from the spring. I wanted a fast guy at the start, but I set the lineup based on when I had Padilla originally hitting somewhere around leadoff, first or second, and then when I moved him, I wanted to plug somebody into his place, and that was Robles. So that's the logic behind that, and you can see I've since changed him to number 3 in that order. Rotation is not doing bad. They've had a lot of competition. We started off with 2 series against Amsterdam and Seoul, and I'll be back momentarily to tell you about, to kind of walk you through those those 6 box scores. But Tripod was, I had him set up as my closer, and he would be fantastic as a closer. He's the lockdown guy that you want. But Leo got rocked hardest of all my rotation guys, and so I thought I'm going to put Tripod in the rotation and put Leo in the pen to settle him down a little bit. You can see Mark Martinez also got off to a really rough start, and we'll go into that here in a little bit of detail in just a minute. Let's see, WBL. Let's zoom back out to the league right quick, and free agents. That's not what I want. Where do I do reports? Here we go. This is what I want. Injury log. The first week there was no major injuries, and that's really good. We just had a few tic-tac things, and nothing that's going to keep anybody out for more than a couple of weeks, and that's good. News listing, power rankings, tulips at the top. Oh, Buenos Aires is nice, and up there at number 2. A little bit of a surprise to me that Buenos is up there. Helsingborg is down in the mid-pack. Buffalo is down low. So I don't know. I'm going to have to do some continued looks around the league to see if our bats are really that bad comparatively. They might be. The rest of the league is really focused on hitting, and I'm a lot more focused on pitching and defense, which I'm not doing a very good job of it at the moment. Amsterdam got Connor. Proud to say I drove his price up a little bit. Although, what? 55? A bit. What? What? A 1-year contract? Well, I'll be honest. I offered him 2 years at, I want to say 2 years at $5.1 million. And, or maybe it was 2 years at 5.5. And somehow Amsterdam came in right over that for a 1-year deal. Kind of glad I didn't get him because I don't have room for him. Don't forget to go check out the waiver wire transactions. There's some guys on the waiver wire, and these need to be checked out. You know, there's some good guys here, especially False Bay put up this guy, Chow, and he looks like a pretty darn good. I don't trust Super Mario 9000. Here's what OSA has to say about him. You can see they're both pretty consistent, though. Yeah, he was cold in the spring. He's not a great hitter. Last year he didn't hit fantastic or anything, but or the year before. In fact, he had negative WAR, probably because of defense. But I would only use him as a DH if you got room for him. Anyway, at $4 million this year, and I think at $5 million next year, and let's go back and look at him. Yeah, 4 and 5. Well, based on my hitting woes, I could really use this guy, but I don't think I got roster room for him. Well, all right, I'll be back.